Good afternoon. This is Pastor Bob at Middle River Church, and wanted to take a few minutes today to give you a thought about something that I remember when I was growing up. My mom used to look at my brother and I and say, well, you guys are two peas in a pod. And meaning, I guess, that we were like each other. Well, I got to thinking about those two peas, and it came across that those two words really are significant to me as persistence and perseverance. And it has a lot to do with who we are and what we're all about. So I wanted to just take a moment to share how that fits in with our life with God. You know, when we look at the word persistence, it's the ability to stick with something, to keep going, to not quit. It's a great trait. It's admirable to have those kind of traits when you think about, you know, going on and keeping moving. And sometimes we get ourselves into a difficult situation. But one of the things that's great for us as Christians is we have a God that we can turn to, and He never changes, and so He's always there. And when we are persistent in praying to Him, He hears us. And maybe He doesn't answer right away. So what do? You stay at it. You don't quit. You keep going. You say, well, I don't want no bother talking to Him. Why not? Maybe He's testing you out, or maybe He's looking to see whether or not you're going to stay with Him and trust Him and have faith in Him. Well, that persistence is for me, for years, has been part of my life. I don't give up very easy. And so I think about that word, and I keep the course. I keep going, keep moving. And just like the church here, we can't quit. Even in the middle of a virus that is tearing our churches apart, and our congregants and the folks here have left, we're not going to quit. We're not closing these doors. We're going to keep going because we're persistent, which then really is another word that comes to my mind is perseverance, which is steadfastness. You keep steadily going forward with persistence, and you keep moving. You don't ever say no. You don't let failure be part of your language. It's a positive 2 words. Be persistent and persevere. Don't quit on anything. It says steady persistence and perseverance is a course of action. It's a purpose. It's a state, especially in times of difficulties. So don't give up. When things get tough, the tough get going. Paul went through all kinds of toughness. He was beaten several times. He was thrown in prison. He was stoned. He didn't have food, but he never stopped. He kept going with God because he trusted God. The question comes to me today, and for you, do we trust Him? Do we believe in this God that says, I'll always be there, I'll never let you alone, I'll watch over you, I'll send my angels to guide you, and I have a plan for you? Do you trust that? I know I do. And it's not always easy. There's sometimes I quit and I give up, and I'll say, nah, it's not worth it. But then I stop and think about it. Well, sure it is. Because the inevitable end is God's plan for me is not earthly, it's eternally. And that is to say, I have a place for you to live. But keep going. And that place for you to live is heaven. And you'll live with me there forever. And He's coming soon. You better be ready. Be prepared. And how? Trusting God and knowing that His word in the Bible is true. So let's not quit. So let us become 2 peas in a pod and joining in with God and saying, I'm going to be persistent in what I do, and I'm going to persevere. I'm going to not quit, and I'm going to keep going with God. So those words to me, think about them. And think how wonderful we have a God that loves us beyond all measure and will always be there for us. So you have a blessed day. Pastor Bob signing off, and may you be blessed.